What innocent search ended up being NSFW. Period knitting. What I wanted, historic patterns. What I got, that chick who shoves wool up her vagina and then pulls it out and knits it. What the fuck? Edit. I'm surprised to find out that it is not a kink thing. No, it's performance art, which is somehow much worse. It's always a coin toss with these things, ain't it? It's either performance art or a kink thing. Why not both? As a network engineer, when I Google the error code in the device, I now have to type out wireless access point instead of WAP. There's some LAN in this house. Need a router and a comp for this wireless access point. I want you to park that Big Mac address in this little IP garage. Edit. Spelling. Putting layer 2 inside of layer 3. So naughty. Way back in the day, when Mrs. Doubtfire was in theaters, I got super hyped on Jump Around. I found out that the group was House of Pain, and I wanted to look them up on that fancy new internet. So I went to www.houseofpain.com. It was hardcore BDSM porn, and I went running and crying to my parents to tell them, so they wouldn't ground me for mistakenly going there. Looks like it's a powerlifting apparel site now. Docking. I intended to Google the docking maneuvers of spaceships. What I got was not that thing. This reminds me of when I went looking for sounding. Meant as the way to measure the depth of the ocean. I was not ready for what I was about to find. I'm 36 years old and only learned what it was from r/Tifu post I read earlier today. I'm sorry for your loss of innocence. I thought you said I'm sorry for your loss of incontinence. Hairy Beaver Roman candles. Hairy Beaver is a firework brand. This would create an awkward headline if their fireworks ever caused an accident. Hairy Beaver blows of man's hand. Hairy Beaver leaves bad taste in consumers' mouths after 4th of July accident. Hairy Beaver, once a celebratory pleasure, now faces serious legislation as it is just too dangerous for men across America. Back in the 90s, my sister was trying to show my mom how the internet works. She said, you can, for example, go to sites for any kind of band you like. So, Backstreet Boys, and types in BSB, com or com or something similar. Up pops the Bare Shaggy Boys hairy porn site. And that's how my sister wasn't allowed to use the internet without supervision for 3 months. I feel this. Many years ago, I ordered my pet supplies from a website called Petopia.com. One missed key and I hit Petopia.com. OMG. This was the days when pop-ups would multiply from every porn site, and you had to shoot the dang computer to get rid of them. They multiplied faster than rabbits, and each was more perverse than the last. A buddy of mine used to call that a porn storm. Pornado. Cable guy, in a previous life. Here, I've been called to many a home by a woman trying to resolve a recurring pornado. The end of the call always goes the same way. Neither my husband or my 13-year-old son would ever go to those kinds of sites. I don't understand. I know. Spyware is all kinds of bad. Just remind everyone to surf safe. Apostrophe. In middle school, I remember in the school library, my friend leaned over and told me to Google image search for Z11 and then go to the 14th results page. And there were a picture of boobs that the school censor didn't block. I called bullshit. But sure enough, there were boobs on page 14. Edit. It was 18 years ago. Those glorious boobs are gone from page 14. Boobs on page 14. Anything beyond page 2 of Google might as well be the deep web. That's modern Google, where all it does is serve you ads. Google in the mid 2000s actually was useful, even at page 10. I miss those days. Now, unless it makes Google money, it doesn't show up. Still hoping for the day we get a decentralized alternative. When the internet was fairly new, my dad decided to print out coloring pages for my daughter. He searched for Barbie pictures and ended up with nudes of the Barbie twins. He was embarrassed, but warned the whole family about his mistake. I wanted to go the American Girl doll website as a child. My dad typed in americangirls.com instead of americangirl.com, which was a huge mistake. He's pretty tech savvy, so he then blocked porn websites on our Wi-Fi well into when I was in college. Who knew a small S could make such a difference? Seems American Girl has now bought that domain. Tried it and it redirects to americangirl.com since at least 2008. Probably cause of ops dad. Went full rampage haha. A friend of mine had a prolapsed disc in his back some years back. I wanted to learn about it, so I googled prolapse and ended up checking the image results. That was the day I learned that your rectum can actually prolapse. I got 7 words into this post and went, "Who? I've got 3 words for you, walls fall out, don't yout a bit. If you don't have at least a gallon of bleach to rinse your eyes out with later. Don't yout a opens YouTube edit, can confirm. Bleach required. So tempted. But I feel is not something I want YouTube to remind me I watched or even know I did it." I was writing an essay about different types of oil, including vegetable oil, as a lubrication in machinery, and why some work and others don't. So I googled vegetable oil lubrication. I learned a lot, but nothing I could use for my essay. 1. Wait for it to rain. 2. Cover yourself in vegetable oil lubrication. 3. FLY. 4. Was having a discussion about the different rooms in the White House, so I googled White House. https://whitehouse.com. OOOPPS it's White House. Gov https://whitehouse. Gov. I was in the 3rd grade. This was 1997 when our history teacher had us doing a worksheet on the history of the White House in the computer room. The White House was built in ///_________________________________________________________________________________________________~ The White House is white because ///____________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ Questions like that. There were never enough computers for everyone. So the teacher had me use the teacher computer that was conveniently hooked up to the giant TV monitor for demonstrations at the front of the classroom. At the top of the page on the worksheet, it said the correct address, White House. Gov https://whitehouse.gov. However, our teacher had written White House. https://whitehouse.com on the whiteboard. Long story short, that's the day me and 20 other 3rd graders learned what porn is. Our teacher must have learned from experience because I just remembered she told us like 50 times it is. Gov.com. My friend went to a library to research sex discrimination before computers were widely available. She chose a computer for blind people which suddenly said very loudly, "You typed in the keyword sex. There are over 70,000 results for your keyword sex. If you want to filter results for the keyword sex." And she quickly pressed ESC, but it was too late. Everyone around looked at her as if she was a pervert. Blind person here. I can just imagine the horror and mortification because I know the kind of computer you mean. I'm crying. Yo. Just a question. How are you able to use Reddit if you're blind? Do you have something read you the stuff on the page and you speak to type back, or is it something else? Technology is at the point where we have text to speech. Also he can type things in by voice probably. I doubt typing would be the biggest problem as sighted people use touch typing without looking at the keyboard anyway. It's getting the info from the computer to one's brain that's more difficult. Wife and I were joking about eating chicken noodles, which then led to chicken nudes. I searched for turkey nudes next and forgot Turkey was a country. Okay. I think chicken nudes is NSFW too. That's going to haunt me. All you will get is chicken breast / Q annoying laugh track. I had an employee who was an architect student, and I let her work on her schoolwork during the day when work was slow. One day she wanted to show me a cool new material she had seen at her class. She couldn't remember the name of it, and Google image searched hard dark ebony wood to show me. I laughed my ass off. Surprisingly SFW results for that. Actually I think there was only like one actual dick. It was mostly wood. But it was very funny nonetheless. Absolutely. Haha, I was definitely expecting that search to go more badly. It used to be that if you entered NASA.com and not .gov, you would get a porn site. White House.com as well. Dicks. Just wanted some boxing gloves. I did that. But at work. Why is this blocked? Oh. Lol, once I was googling Dick's Sporting Goods, but bumped the enter key and ended up googling Dick's S'. Luckily I was on my computer at home. My sister's ex once found an old coupon for Dick's Sporting Goods in his wallet. What he actually said was, "I still have a thing for Dick's." Isabel, Animal Crossing. When I was a child, I wanted to practice my drawing skills by drawing some Inuyasha pictures. I hopped on the family PC and hit up the Google. I didn't know how to spell Inuyasha, and I have no idea what I did spell, but it was all internet porn. I had never seen porn before. That's when a young Inukchuk's life changed forever. These days, googling any anime character inevitably leads to porn anyway. Why else would I google Astolfo? I had a report to do on Lucy when I was in like 4th grade or something. It's an old Australopithecus fossil. Well, I Google searched that shit with my friend at his house and found some boobs. We did click on the boobs, but quickly got back to our intended study. Well, my mom got a call from his mom later that night freaking out about us looking at porn, and my explanation did not hold any water at all. So I was grounded. I'm still kinda salty to this day and feel like I was set up. How dare you? Once my little cousin borrowed my laptop for a project. Later, when I was casually scrolling through my history for a link, there was a Google search for boobs and then big boobs. Guess the little man wasn't satisfied by the former search. At least he wasn't the 12-year-old kid who googled sexy 16-year-olds on his dad's work computer. My stepson did that on our iPad. I told him googling 13-year-old sex is not something I should have in my search history. Wasn't my work computer, and thankfully, even if it was, I'm the person who would deal with that. I looked up animated dog images and one had a dick. The very first time I ever used the internet, I accidentally found porn. This is mid-90s. I'm in the library at my school working on some group project. Must have been 2nd grade or so. And all the librarians were losing their minds because they finally had a bunch of computers with internet access. I didn't know how it worked, but the kid next to me told me to go to Hotbot to look things up before Google. Well, this kid had a cold, so he was congested, and instead of hearing the hard T sound at the end, I heard a D, which means I went to Hotbot. I don't remember if it was .net, org, or whatever, and the first thing I saw was some blonde lady showing me what a vagina looked like. Being too young to be interested, I immediately closed the browser and let someone else use the internet instead. Edit. Spelling. I was doing research on sex chromosome disorders. Pro tip, when googling 30th females, maybe include the word chromosomes in there somewhere. My 7th grade science teacher told my class to look it up. My grandmother had a small mammal living in her backyard, and I was trying to help her figure out what it was. I was using Google image search and decided to look for pics of beavers. Welp, the first result was not the kind of beaver we were talking about, nor was it something you want to pop up with your grandmother looking over your shoulder. Luckily she's pretty laid back. We laughed our asses off for 5 minutes before searching beaver animal. I was taking a graphic arts class in middle school and searched for beach on Google Images. I ended up with pictures of naked men on the beach. Well, it was graphic. Forgot to type the R in Gary Oldman's name one time. Ha brilliant. Back when my friend around the block and I were 8, we would go to each other's houses and go on Flash Player.com for mini games and funny videos. We forgot the name of the website and put in flashplay.com. That's when my friend and I discovered porn and the beauty of it. I wanted to make a watch the game at some bar poster. I was looking for a silhouette of people on a couch with their hands raised like score. I could find silhouettes of heads but none of the air, fists in the air. So I did a search for fists and just got color photos of clenched hands. Tried fisting. Nope. You were looking for fist pumping. Not sure if that's safe either. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. We have new videos every day. Stay tuned for more coming up next.